Hello, I'm Daniel. This video is called Questions People Sometimes Ask. I want to address questions people sometimes ask. So I have been gathering these questions. I love to answer questions. So if you ever want me to address a question, let me know. But here's some questions, okay? One person says, I want to learn to meditate, but I am afraid it will be hard. Is it hard? And the answer to that is yes. Yes, meditation is hard. And some meditation teachers might be dishonest about that and tell you it's not hard. And it's hard. But the truth is, also, a second truth is the hardest thing about it, it's one of the things in life where the hardest thing about it is showing up. Showing up is, for whatever reason, very hard. It's the thing people struggle with the most in meditation is showing up, just getting back to the practice, just getting back to the cushion or to the meditation group or whatever. That's the hardest thing about meditation is showing up because we want to do all sorts of other things. So that's the truth. Yes, meditation is hard, and yes, I will admit that it is hard, but the hardest thing is showing up. And I think a lot of people, one struggle a lot of people have is, for whatever reason, we don't want to go to things alone also. So if you don't have friends that are into meditation, it's really hard for you to get to a meditation group just because we have a lot of anxiety about doing things alone. And that's not limited to meditation. I think a lot of people who like go to a cooking class, they don't go alone either. And it's the same kind of thing. We just have anxiety about stepping out of our comfort zone and trying this new thing. And not everyone does, but many people do. So that's why I say yes, meditation is hard, but the hardest thing about it is just showing up. Just showing up. Just getting to it. So, and another aspect is, of course, we all have busy lives, and it might be really challenging to get to a meditation group. But the thing is, you can do it at home as well by yourself. It's harder. It's harder. A lot of people just won't because it's hard to do by yourself too. It's hard to do at home, one, because there's 1,000 things at home to do. And then two, it's hard to do by yourself. You're not accountable to anybody. It's like working out. If you're not accountable to anybody, then it's really easy to not do. But people do it. People do go by themselves and go to a room in their house and meditate. So it can be done, but yes, it's a lot easier to find time in your schedule to sit with a group. It's a lot easier. So that was question number one. Yes, meditation is hard. I'm not going to lie to you. Some meditation teachers will lie to you and say it's not easy or it's just neutral or something, but it's challenging. It's really easy to not do. So that was question number one. Question number two, and this is about my group Fountain City Meditation. So it is, why don't you have your group meet in a church? I think my church would let you meet there for free. And so just the backstory of that is I have Monday night meditation every week, and I have a space I rent and I pay for it. And then I take donations, and generally those donations don't cover the amount of the space, but it's okay because I have a good deal. But I sort of thought about doing meditation in a church, and I know I could, and I might even get a nicer space for free if I go to a church. And I've been telling myself this story that if I'm not in a church, then the hope is, or what I wish for is for people who don't like churches and are uncomfortable in churches, that they will come meditate with me. That's the story I tell myself. And I'm acknowledging that's a story right now because I think that people that are scared of churches or really don't want to go to a church or whatever probably also aren't coming anyway. So that is a story I've been telling myself. So a deeper reason of why I don't want to move my operation to a church is I'm sort of afraid that if I move, I'm going to lose everybody because that's what happens to groups like this often is they move to a new location, they lose everybody, and they have to start all over. And I don't want to do that. I was also offered a space in a local store, and I'm not going to say the name of the store just in case they don't want me to tell you, but I was offered a space in a local store for the same price I'm paying now, and it's a nicer space, and I maybe could get more people, but the two hangups for that are, one, I don't want to move my operation, and two, there's a giant staircase that people would have to go up, and I also want people who can't go up a huge flight of stairs to be able to come. And I actually do have one person who could get up a big flight of stairs, but it would not be a pleasant experience for her, I think. So I'm reluctant to move. That's what I wanted to say. But also, this is not a religious practice, and I want people who just really hate religion to be able to come meditate with me. And I want both sides. I want people who just hate religion to be able to come meditate, and I want people who love their religion and want to keep it and aren't interested in changing their religion. I want them to come too. I want both of those sides to be comfortable coming. So that's why I'm in the space I'm in instead of a church. I know at least one church that I could definitely get a space in if I wanted to. That being said, though, I could be convinced. I could be convinced if somebody really tried to convince me to move my operation. They probably could if they really tried. But also the space I'm at, Ubuntu Village, it's an amount I can afford. So even if nobody donates to support the practice, it's an amount I can afford. And then another question about my meditation group is, can I come teach in your group? I don't have any credentials. And to that, I just say hard yes. Or rather, you can come if you've never been trained as a meditation teacher, and I will train you. I will get you to where you can do what I do. So I think a lot of emphasis is put on credentials, and I don't know. So that's the third question. It's just yes, I'll train you. If you want to come teach meditation with me, I'll train you. I didn't envision this group as something I do by myself. It's just so far unfolded that way. And then the last question is this a religious practice? I think I already answered that. Not the way I do it, it's not. So the way other people do it, it is. And I also want to say, initially, I didn't set out to start this group, or I didn't want to go start a group by myself. I would have been more content, I think, if someone else had let me teach in their existing organization, because some of the administrative stuff, some of the details of getting this set up and everything, I don't really like. But that being said, I'm held back by a fear of rejection, so I didn't ask anyone, can I teach in your organization? Because we have some huge meditation communities in Kansas City, and a lot of them, and there's just, well, there was one that, I don't want to overstate it, but sort of rejected me. And as a result of that, like, I'm not going to ask anybody. Probably I'm not going to ask anybody, hey, can I come teach in your organization? So, and that's sort of beneficial to me only because I get to make all my decisions, which means, like, in a lot of meditation communities, there's things I don't really like. Like, I decided we're not going to have any chanting because I think chanting is silly. And we're not going to bow because I think bowing is silly. In a lot of meditation places, even non-religious ones, people still do things like chant and bow. So the good thing is I have full control. I can cut away things I don't want. I can bring in anyone I want to teach with me, and there's no rules. I get to make my own rules. So I do like that. And then one more question. Meditation with eyes open or eyes closed. Do you recommend meditation with eyes open or eyes closed? I recommend eyes open. Eyes open is what I say when I'm leading meditation, but I don't think eyes closed is bad. I just think it doesn't work for me. When I meditate with my eyes closed, I am someone who, and my girlfriend Alicia, my partner Alicia, would tell you this very clearly. I'm someone who falls asleep very easily. Not all the time, but almost all the time. So when I meditate with my eyes closed, it can present a problem at times. Not always, but it can at times present a problem. So for me, eyes open practice is the best. I just kind of have a downward gaze at a spot on the floor that's not going to distract me, that's not interesting. And that's how I sit. But at the same time, I'm really flexible. When I lead meditation, I tell people to do what works for them. It's not my rules or nothing. So, I sit on a cushion on the floor, but people come and sit in chairs, people come and lay down, people come and sit on the floor without a cushion, whatever. I don't care. Some people get really hung up on that stuff. I don't. What matters is that you're sitting in a way where parts of your body are not going to be distracting and where parts of your body are not going to fall asleep. Those are the most important things. So I guess that's it for today, but I do want to do videos like this. I want to start doing these often. So I would ask you to please send me questions. Send me questions and I will answer them. Questions about meditation, questions about my group, Fountain City Meditation, questions about mindfulness, questions about Buddhism, spirituality, whatever. Send me questions. Oh, and one more thing. Somebody asked, what do I have to do to be a guest on your podcast? And that is be able to travel to my house in Kansas City, and we'll figure out how to do that. So if you're interested in being a guest on my podcast, the requirement is that you come to me, but I'm into that. I haven't turned down a guest yet, and I've had really productive podcast episodes, so that's fun. So that's it. I do want to do just a very brief healing breath practice at the end of this, and then we will be done. So the healing breath is a slow breathing practice, a slow and counting breathing practice. So we breathe in for the count of 5, and we hold our breath for the count of 5, and we breathe out for the count of 5. So a single breath is 15 seconds, okay? So I want to encourage you to do that with me. And I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then I'm going to do it 3 times. And you can do it with me if you want or not. In. Hold your breath. Out. So now we're going to do that. That was just my demonstration. If you did it, that's okay. But now I want you to do that with me 3 times, and I will just direct you in what to do, okay? In. Hold your breath. Out. In. Hold your breath. Out. In. Hold your breath. Out. It's kind of a centering practice. It's something we can use if we're in a difficult situation. We just need to take a minute. It kind of helps with that, and it can kind of serve just put a pause in our day, just a short one. So I mean, it's shorter than a 10-minute meditation, right? So it's just a really short, just take a minute for yourself. Try to do that every day. Try to just do the healing breath. And you probably, if you're like me, you have to look at a clock to do the 15 seconds. And that's okay. That's okay. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it's shed some light on some things. And please send me questions, because I would love to do more videos like this, but I can only do it if people ask questions. So thank you and have a good day.